Armory disc golfers, welcome back to another video. Mint Discs has finally restocked the Longhorn, long awaited. We've got them in our custom Aslan stamp and in stock stamp. Today I'm going to show you how this new run flies in both Swirly Apex and in Nocturnal. Let's get into it. This is Mint's third run of Longhorns. This time they're gonna be in Nocturnal plastic, which is a little bit gummier and a little bit flatter, and Swirly Apex, which is a little stiffer, but not as stiff as other Swirly Apex plastic and other molds that we've seen, and it has a little bit more dome. So we'll see if these fly the same or different, how that stuff affects them. I'll compare them to a couple other discs. We'll play 9 holes here at Audubon Park. Starting here, we've got about 445 feet downhill. Let's see how they compare. All right, this is my first throw with one of these. I'm gonna try to throw this on a touch of Hyzer, see how much it flips over. Oh, just enough. Great little slight stand up, plenty of stability there at the end, probably just outside the circle. Now I'll try the Nocturnal, try to do the same thing, little bit of Hyzer. Oh, that's early. I think that one's more stable. That was an early release. First impression, that one looked a little bit more stable. This was not a good shot. We'll have plenty more to come, but if you throw it on Hyzer, it's gonna Hyzer. All right, I hit this guardian tree on the way in. So, first putt of the day, nice little jumper to save par. Get up, babied it. Hi, I don't know if you can see me on camera. I'm gonna try to punch this very tiny gap here. Just gotta laser it in there. I almost did. Almost did. Par and a bogey. Start things off. All right, second hole we'll be playing is a par 4. This one you want your first shot to go down and then right across the creek. So now we're gonna give these a crack, hit forehand. I'm gonna start with the Nocturnal because 1, it's its turn, and 2, I expect this one to fly a little bit more stable, so maybe be a better forehand disc. Nice straight ride and a consistent finish. Solid. Swirly Apex. I'll try to throw that one the same, flat-ish tick of Hyzer, see how much it flips. Yeah, I definitely think that this one has a little bit more turn to it, but it's not understable. It actually seems kind of like a bomber. I'm really liking the Swirly Apex one in particular if you want something out of the box, a little bit of turn with some stability at the end. Nocturnal didn't go quite as far, but this is actually a better shot for the hole because it finished farther right. Flare over there. This is about 150, 170 feet, something like that. Now this Swirly Apex pushed probably a solid 60, 70 feet farther, had more turn out of the hand, a lot straighter flyer than the Nocturnal for these first 2 flights. Stop. Yep, those will both be good. The flight numbers on the Longhorn are 11, 4, -1, 2.5. And it's funny because I feel like if you were to combine the Swirly Apex and the Nocturnal, that's about what you would get. I wouldn't be too worried about the 4 glide versus 5 or 6 that people put in stuff these days. The discs fly. I'll compare them to a Wraith and a Paradigm later to show you if that glide does or does not have any difference in the actual flight characteristics of the disc. So like I said, these are available in our custom Aslan stamps as well as the stock Longhorn stamps on some of the Swirly Apex ones. This is actually the final run of these Aslan stamps that we're going to have. Almost a full lineup of Mint available with them, but once they're gone, the stamp is getting put into the vault. So if you like this, be sure to grab it at armorydiscgolf.com before they're gone. All right, here we have 360-ish. So I'm gonna take the Swirly Apex one, put a little bit of Hyzer, trust that it's gonna flex over and then come back in at the end. And with the Nocturnal one, I'm gonna try to throw it flat out to the left and see its stability. Oh yeah, I don't think it's gonna come back. Again, not worried about the 4 glide, that thing glides. But definitely something that if you're gonna be forehanding full power, you're gonna want to put on Hyzer, or at least just know that it's gonna finish kind of left like that. Well, I really cranked on that one. Got it over on Anhyzer, but didn't really flip over. Held it pretty good, still had enough stability to come back at the end. I'm starting to see a pretty clear distinction between the plastics here. And the Nocturnal one is actually pretty beefy boy. I think that it's flying sort of like a longer Sexton Firebird, and if you know me, that's a very high compliment. I know it may seem like a strange comparison, but I throw a lot of Sexton Firebirds. I know a lot of you do as well. So if you do, you know what I'm talking about, and you know it's pretty sweet to have. Trying to get this thing to go 400 feet dead straight out this tunnel. There's a river right behind the basket, so I don't want to go long. I don't think that'll be a problem with this guy. I should be able to hit it on a little bit of Anhyzer out to the right and trust for it to come back in. Well, I didn't throw it on Anhyzer, I just threw it flat out to the right, and it came back in. Backhand on this guy, I still want to release it on a little bit of Hyzer, trusting that it's going to flip up, but then still have a reliable fade. Oh, that's beautiful. Flips up to flat, pushes, fades, hits a guardian tree on the way in. That is a beautiful flight. I like that a lot. I like that so much, in fact, that now is the time that I'm going to decide to test it against, this is a Star Wraith, slightly worn in, but this is my go-to stand up, push straight, and fade out driver, like what this Longhorn just did, so I want to see it compare. So that was on a little bit more Hyzer, so it didn't quite get all the way up to flat the way the Longhorn did, but it pushed maybe not even quite as far. So that's kind of what I was saying earlier. The 4 glide thing doesn't trip me out. That sucker's gliding. Nocturnal just outside the circle, running it straight at a river to Valhalla, or for Valhalla, or something about Valhalla. I'm gonna try to make this putt. Drift. This guy was robbed. That was heading for a park job, but we'll try to redeem it with a jump putt from about the same distance. Man, I gotta give it more. Right on line, I gotta give it more. We're at a couple holes into this thing. I'm ready to give them my flight numbers. I think this, I'd give it an 11.403. Like I said, like a longer Sexton Firebird, which I really like. This guy, I'm giving it an 11.5, -1, 2. It's got a little bit of fade, not too much fade. It's got some turn. I don't think I'd quite put it all the way to a -2 turn, and I'm not messing around with half numbers. 11.5, -1, 2. Now what I'm gonna do here is try to put these on Anhyzer and have them drift from left to right the entire way. That light pole right there is 400 feet, and the basket finishes like 150-ish feet to the right, so you want something that finishes right. If that will come out of it and push, that's gonna be excellent. Yes, goodness grief, I think I might have a jump putt from there. That held an Anhyzer spectacularly. I'm gonna throw my Wraith to compare the two and show you, as well as a Paradigm, give you an idea kind of where this slots in among a few other discs that it reminds me of. A little lower, very similar line. I think the Wraith is a touch more stable than the Longhorn. Discmania Paradigm. Not a lot of people are throwing these, but I think that they're good discs. Ah, that one's lower too, but that flies a lot like that Longhorn was. Would have liked to see that one with a little bit more height to really compare, but I think that's really close. And again, the Paradigm is a 12 speed and a 6 glide, which just goes to show you that numbers aren't everything. Nocturnal Longhorn, obviously, I'm gonna have to get into this one to keep it moving to the right the entire time. It doesn't want to hold that. It is coming out of there. Beating a dead horse at this point. That's definitely more stable than the Swirly Apex. Having a disc that's overstable like this, I feel kind of bad for the Nocturnal Longhorn. Like, people aren't gonna like you because you're more stable than the Swirly Apex one. But I'm really excited about this one. You're a good disc, Nocturnal Longhorn. This isn't a sponsored video. I just genuinely think this thing is flying like a Sexton Firebird, and I'm about to flick it in this left side gap and swing it back in towards the basket and hopefully show you what I mean. Now, get a driver flare. Yep. It's just overstable. It's still a good disc. This makes me sad because I thought it beat the corner. I thought I was gonna jump putt, but it clipped these final trees, and so now I either have to get real skinny through the woods or throw something weird. That'll be a circle look, maybe just outside circle. Oh yeah, it's about 7 feet inside the circle. Connecting for bird on both of these. A quick aside from Longhorn talks, I haven't posted in a month or two because I've been finishing up my final round of school. Hopefully ever. I think I have enough degrees to satisfy me now, and I'll be able to do this full-time, posting at least once a week, but not starting quite right now. I'm moving next week, and so in 2 or 3 weeks from now, we'll go back to regular once a week, and hopefully moving it up to 2 times a week, uploads for you guys, disc reviews, tip videos, tournament rounds, the whole thing. So thank y'all so much for your continued support, both here on the channel and at ArmoryDiscGolf.com. Helps Dustin and I put food on the table for our families, and we couldn't do it without you guys, so thanks. I'm really happy with the Nocturnal one there. I'll take that every single time. And then the Apex one, is over here. This one is great too. Both of these did essentially what I was expecting them to, which is great to have. One that'll flip up and fade, one that you know you can really trust to be a little more stable. 686 foot par 4. I get to throw these pretty hard twice in a row. Man, I just don't seem to commit to that guy for some reason. Really like that. Not flippy, but it definitely has some stand up to push and get distance. Okay, I'm committed to getting a good pull with this guy. A little bit of Anhyzer, maximum distance with the backhand. Well, still not a great pull from me, but I think that is a very respectable show of how that disc is going to fly. You know what? Let's see if this one will handle a little bit of a forehand flex. Just tried to pop it, didn't try to put too much power into it. Holds Anhyzer all the way over. Not super surprising there. I was curious to see if that one would flex. That was not a ton of power, like I said. So not super upset about the result because trying things out for you guys. I do think it's an interesting and useful combination to see these two paired up, the different stabilities between them. If you like mold minimalization, you can grab a Nocturnal and a Swirly Apex and cover a lot of different shot shapes with them. You deviants want to see forehand roller. All right, I'll bite. But I'm not guaranteeing much. It's not like this is some specialty of mine. That's gonna be too much cut, I think. I bet if I could do that exact same thing with this though, it would be sweet. Yeah, that's gonna be good. Is it gonna be 440 good? No, no it is not. But that's nice. These are both way too stable for me to roll them on a backhand. But if you're like Nate Sexton and really like putting down really stable backhand rollers, or if you're just an absolute man and can get something this stable down on a backhand roller, more power to you. It's our 9th and final hole, 334 feet. You probably can't see the basket from here. It's pretty much dead straight. I'm gonna throw these both on a flex, have them pan left, and then finish back right up the hill. If you've watched to this point of the video, please like the video, subscribe to see more of these coming up. Really appreciate your continued support. Let's see these fly one more time. Tried to throw that with just a touch of Hyzer, and it really doesn't want to fight back out. This, however, I think would actually be the perfect disc for this hole. I'm gonna put it on a little bit of Anhyzer, trust that it's gonna flex back in. Much more stable. I did leave it a little far left, but it hooked back up, and that should be about 20 feet for birdie. I am straddling the line, so I'm just gonna nail this 33-footer real quick to end the video. Let me know what you think of the Longhorns, whether the Nocturnal or the Swirly Apex or both. I'm curious what the community is throwing. I like chatting disc golf, so let's do that in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next one.